So, hi everyone, welcome to AO Games Talk, Episode 2. I'm the host, Elay, and this series is hosted by AO Games. AO Games is dedicated to building a gaming consumer layer for AO the computer, with a mission to bring 200 million gamers worldwide into the world of Web3 gaming on AO. And today we have invited Elliot as our guest, and he's building Llama Land, which is fully on-chain, massively multiplayer online game on AO, right? So, Elliot, very nice meeting you here. Please introduce yourself and the projects that you're involved in within the AO ecosystem.
Sure. I've been working in Arweave for a couple years now, working on a couple projects like Arweave, and kind of just doing research and development projects in the ecosystem. And since AO's come out, I've also been using that. So one of the first projects I worked on AO was something called Gather Chat. And this is sort of like a proof of concept for basically kind of like a virtual hangout space that's powered by AO.
Hangout
So
space?
yeah. So
Okay.
basically you have your own avatar in like a room and you can walk around and you can see other people and you can chat with them.
So it's like a dating app, like sort of like we're making
Uh,
friends.
yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
Okay.
Just like I guess sort of a bit like something like Discord.
Oh,
So
Discord. All right.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it could be a dating app, I guess. Anything can be.
Right. Yeah. So that's the first project. And what
Yeah,
else?
exactly. So this has sort of evolved a bit into another project called Llama Land, which is basically it's a little bit like Gather Chat, but it's themed to llamas. And the reason for this is because we want the AI capabilities on AO. So Llama
Right.
is a reference to the like Llama 3 AI
Okay.
model that Meta produces.
Yeah.
Um, and we have some NPCs in this world that are powered by this AI model. So yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Because I was about to ask like why llama, and then you just explained.
Yeah, exactly.
So what type of like application do you think are suitable on the AO ecosystem?
Um, Based on my experience so far, like you can do pretty much anything you can do on
Mm,
Web2, which is kind of the
mm,
crazy thing. Um, so a lot of blockchains are very limited with like uh, what kind of data you can put on chain, like the scale of the data, and also like the TPS and the scalability and stuff like this. Um, but with AO, like there's really not these massive limitations. You can sort of do whatever kind of computation you want. Work with really large files if you want to, and even do stuff like AI, which is kind of crazy.
what is like the most attracting factor for you to join AO in the beginning?
Well, for me, it was because I was already involved in Arweave. Um, it's the main thing. Um, I really like Arweave. Like the kind of the philosophy behind the project. I'm not really big into like a lot of crypto stuff. Um, like all of the finance stuff is like kind of cool, but not really my area of interest. Um, but I really like Arweave and AO just because um, it's it's based on basically a fundamental problem of wanting to just store data for a long time, which is basically unsolved in the Web2 world, and it's actually like kind of practically solved in this area. So yeah.
Okay, so what do you think like how does AI be integrated with AO and as like a game
hmm
developer itself, like what kind of unique opportunities does the AO ecosystem offer for AI development in gaming that are not really available in the traditional gaming environment?
Um, so I mean, you can do AI in Web2 games, uh,
Mhm. Yeah,
and
exactly.
it works fine. The Although it really hasn't, honestly, it hasn't been utilized to the extent that I think a lot of people thought it would be. Like a lot of the art and stuff, asset generation is kind of still done by like artists, human artists. Although like they're sort of moving in the direction of doing it more with AI. Um, the cool thing about doing it on the blockchain is when you have, um, I guess, when you have like real world sort of tokens,
Mm,
uh, real world consequences for AI interactions, you want to make sure that it's sort of it's a fair output. And when you're running it on someone else's server, like in the cloud, um, you don't really want to have to trust that the AI that you sort of have to trust that they're going to do it fairly. Whereas if you do this on AO on the blockchain, like you know that um, it's it's a verifiable. You can rerun the output and make sure that it was always going to give that exact output. So there's a clear benefit there when it comes to like um, I guess the important consequences. So for like just casual gaming stuff, probably not too important. But when
mm,
you're kind of integrating it with tokens with real value, then yeah, it
mm.
does become important.
Yeah, so that's like one aspect or one innovation. So what other innovation
Yeah.
do AO can bring like to traditional gaming?
Um, yeah, it's really like there's a couple. First and foremost, just because it's integrated with like a blockchain,
Yeah.
um, you get so you can basically have all of anything in the game you want can be like a real on-chain asset. Um,
Mm,
sort of a little bit like I think Steam, Valve's platform Steam was sort of the precursor to this, where they have all of these like tradable items and like skins or whatever, and you can
mm,
trade from account to account, trade between games and stuff like this, which is really cool. But obviously has the obvious downside that it's tied to this one platform, um, and you're sort of at their behest to like keep your items if they shut down the platform, if they ban your account, something like this. All
mm,
that stuff disappears. So there's a clear benefit there. Um, in particular, though, with Arweave and AO, since it's um, a permanent storage uh, blockchain, you actually have this interesting capability of sort of basically because every interaction has been recorded, you can actually sort of like go back in time and sort of
right.
time travel to the past and sort of
Mm,
see like what the game was doing at that time. You can sort of like if people are walking around talking to each other, you can sort of replay those interactions, which is quite cool. Um, and sadly, like in a lot of games, you have like stuff like replays. Sadly, this stuff like often gets lost with time, and you know, uh, been a lot of instances with me and my friends who have like been reminiscing about some game we've played, some awesome game we had, and we go back and try and find the replay, and it's all gone. So yeah, it's just another side effect, I guess. Yeah.
right. So how does Llama Land like leverage AI to create like a more immersive and interactive gaming experience? I wonder like how do you do that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we've got this kind of flagship mechanic in Llama Land where you petition the king. So you walk up to his character, you click on him, and he'll ask
Mm,
you basically, uh, I can give you some of our Llama coin, which is like the kind of meme coin for
mm,
the world that he's in. I can give you some, but you have to give me like a good reason.
mm.
Um, so you can type in you type in with natural language, like say, I want to build a hospital or something like this for the sick llamas in the kingdom,
Ah,
like this. And then it'll use AI to like judge that how much he likes your claim, like whether he believes you, what stuff like this. Um, and
so the
based on
AI
that,
will
you'll
be
get
the
like
judge.
yeah. So
Okay.
the AI basically judges what you type in, and he can give you like a real world asset. Sorry, well, not a
Mm,
real world, but like a
okay.
virtual token, based on that.
Mm.
So yeah, it's kind of like it's interesting, like integrating these sort of really powerful like computation systems with AI and like having that linked up to crypto assets all on the same platform. I don't think any other chain can do this actually. So yeah.
Cool. And what do you see like as the most exciting like the most exciting future trends in AI and gaming on the AO ecosystem?
Um, I think one of the cool things we're going to see is um, when we when we're gonna see like more of these games popping up, everyone's gonna sort of have their own like ideas for what their world's gonna be like and different rules and different games and stuff like this. But
Mm-hmm.
what's gonna be very cool is because it's all running on the same platform, you're going to be able to have like whatever kind of interaction you want between these worlds. For example, like if you get some weapon or something or some item in some game, you'll be able to sort of move that over to other games somehow. Um,
Mm.
and yeah, basically have everything sort of connected in this way. There's a lot of cool opportunities for that, I think.
And like, what kind of advice would you give to like other developers or entrepreneurs, like when they looking to
Mhm.
enter the AI and gaming within the AO ecosystem?
Um, I guess just have a look at the existing protocols we've got out there.
Mm,
Um, it's kind of it's kind of important, I think, for for this vision of sort of all these games interop being interoperable. People sort of build their systems on the same base protocols. Um, the issue is if everyone sort of does the exact like does their own thing and has their own like technologies, they might not
mm,
be able to like work together well. Um, so really to get the vision of like this like interoperable like assets and like being able to go from world to world seamlessly and sort of having like a sort of unified experience in a way. It's very
mm.
important to sort of um, integrate with the protocols that people are building and sort of develop them together rather than kind of just making your own little world garden in a way.
Your little own bubble, maybe.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah. So what is your vision then for Llama Land? Like, what is your goal when you start building this Web3 game?
Well, initially it's just sort of like playing around with AO
Mm-hmm.
and like the capabilities that it can do, sort of showcasing it in a way. Um,
I,
but the other goal is really just to like I guess yeah, inspire other people to um, based on like seeing what's possible, um, making their own uh, sort of versions of this world, um,
mm.
having like um, and seeing basically how easy it is to sort of get started and yeah, like make interactive experiences and also for like AO developers who are sort of non-gamers, seeing the ways that you can sort of bring um, bring your web applications into sort of uh, more of like a gamified interface. Um,
Mm.
so an example of this is like a distributed exchange, something like on AO we have PermaSwap, and
Right.
they've been able to build like sort of like a little NPC you can go up to, and you can do basically token swaps from within the game. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, like kind of just showing how interoperable everything on AO can be, I guess.
Okay, but do you have like a long-term vision for it? Like 'cause right now
Uh,
you're like showcase, right? You're already finished your
yeah, yeah,
showcase.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, long-term vision. Honestly, that's sort of up in the air right now. It really depends on like where other developers take it. Like um, if these other worlds come along, which are like sort of steal the show, I guess like Llama Land has done its job in a way. Um,
Mm.
but but yeah, like kind of just continue to develop it and like inspire other developers to make cool stuff, I guess.
And last question. So like what's
Yeah.
your expectation for AO?
What's my what, sorry?
Your expectation for AO?
My expectation for AO.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, I think it's a really solid technology, uh,
Mm.
and like kind of a different take on very different take to a lot of other blockchains on sort of parallel computation. So I mean, I've got high hopes for it sort of, I guess, taking over some of the market share of other blockchains. Um, so yeah, I'm yeah very very optimistic about its future, really.
Yeah, so you just wish to take more market share from like
Yeah,
a
I get.
financial perspective.
Well, kind of, yeah. I mean, I think when developers see how like easy it is to develop and like the flexibility you get, the power,
Mm,
um, it's sort of, and also just the integration with the Arweave blockchain, where you have this really nice benefit of being able to put however big files you want on the on the blockchain as well. I think
mm.
developers are going to see that as like very kind of convenient, um, and yeah, I think it'll win a lot of them over. So
I actually have one more question, like it just like come
yeah.
up in my head. Because I want to know like what kind of like challenges that you face when you build like Llama Land on AO.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's a good question. So like I think um well this the the first challenge for me really was because I'm not really like a game developer. So I've had
Mm,
to like learn that kind of from scratch. The other
right.
thing is like when I started working on it, AO was like kind of very new. And uh like it's sort of been evolving as I've been
Mm,
developing applications, and also just like the um I guess because we're early adopters, we're still sort of working out what the best practices are for like developing. I would say mine is like one of the more complicated um, of the projects right now. It has like a lot of moving parts. It's like AI, there's like the game engine, all of the stuff
mm,
interacting. So yeah, it's like um, it's been a bit challenging just working with a lot of new stuff. But I think as the ecosystem evolves, like it's going to get a lot easier um, for developers to work on AO, and like you'll be able to see like a lot of examples of people who have already made like um, kind of these large scale projects and be like, okay, they've
mm.
managed to do it like this. That's probably a really good way. So, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I guess that's it. Like we just finished all the questions. And thank you for your time, Elliot, and your great output today. And please continue, like everyone, please continue following AO and AO Game and also Llama Land. We're gonna invite more guests to talk about AO ecosystem and its development. So please stay tuned and see you guys very, very soon. Thank you, Elliot.
Thanks very much.